Hi, Jason Fladlin here, and I'm going to walk you through this product on how to get your first copywriting gig in 7 days or less. Let's get right down to it. First, how to make this course work for you. You have to take action. I don't know anything that works where you don't even take action. Even winning the lottery means that you first have to buy the ticket. So I'm hoping that you're going to take action on this information, and massive action would be the best because it's not so much about the technique, which is the second point, but the accessibility. Somebody once told me, "Wow, Jason, you're really lucky." And I said, "Well, the harder I work, the luckier I get, because the harder you work, the more times you put yourself out there and the more times you're available to take advantage of opportunity." So the whole key behind getting the gig of getting your first copywriting client in a week or less is that you're going to put yourself out in a variety of different avenues. So the people that have the right itch cycle who need a copywriter right away can access you because you're out in many places. So it's not so much about doing it perfectly, it's just getting out there so you can talk to as many people as possible and get as many opportunities as possible coming your way. The last theory on this course on how to make it work, the last point is that you have to pay your dues. A lot of people like to sell you the really sizzle part of this and not the steak. The steak's kind of fattening and the steak has a lot of downsides, but they sell you the sizzle. Well, it's very easy to sell copywriting courses when you can promise somebody to make 6 figures in a year. And some people do that, but the majority of copywriters starting out, 95% or more, do not start out making 6 figures right away. They do not start out making huge sales, commissions, none of that. They start off writing maybe $100, $200, maybe $500 copywriting. And I don't think there's anything wrong with taking those small projects. If you can do good work, eventually, within a year's time, you'll get up to 6 figures just by reputation alone, because there's always a lack of good copywriters comparative to businesses and business opportunities that need copy. So this isn't the way to get the first 6-figure client or the first $15,000 letter overnight. You have to pay your dues. And if you do that, this course will work for you. So what is this course about? Well, it's not the best way. There's a lot of better ways to get clients. They involve kind of complicated processes. They involve a lot of marketing savvy, and they involve good salesmanship, face-to-face, a lot of technique. And so what I'm going to show you is not the best way. It's not the perfect way. And it's definitely not sexy. It's good old-fashioned hard work. But hey, if you're starting out and you need to make money right away, do the hard work up front, because guess what? When you really get good at it, copywriting becomes very easy, and the money becomes very easy comparatively to the work put in. I know people that work in steel mills for $12 an hour, and I know copywriters who make 6, and some of them even make 7 figures, who do not work nearly as hard. But they didn't start off glamorously, they didn't do it perfect, and they didn't do it in the best way. What I'm going to show you is a simple and effective way for achieving your desired results. In other words, I'm going to give you the basic, most fundamental way I know on how to get clients, and that's do 3 or 4 of these things in congruence with each other, and just get out there, make a good offer, and pound the pavements. I'm just going to show you some very easy ways that you can pound the pavements so you don't have to think of them yourself. I'll give you the marketing techniques for getting your first clients. So that's what we're going to discuss today. Now let's just pop over here. What I have here is ClickBank. This is the first method we're going to talk about, which, and even before we even get into it, one of the things that's going to help you is samples. If you have copywriting samples, excellent. This will help you a lot. If you don't, there's 2 things that you can do. The first is what I call the ClickBank method, where we're over here in ClickBank, clickbank.com. And I searched a category. I just picked one at random. I picked home and family. I sorted by low gravity, and I did a search till I got to a point, because I'm looking for sales letters that can be improved. Because the idea is, if you don't have any samples, take a really bad sales letter and improve on it here. Then you could potentially even get client work from the person that you improved the copy on, but at the same time you can show people. You can say, here's one I found, read music notes easily for children. Now here's the sales page. How your child can read music notes easily and quickly. I don't know about you, but to me that's a terrible, terrible headline. In about 2 minutes time, the headline alone, I could write a better headline. This is funny. If you're a parent or a music teacher with children taking piano lessons, then this might be the most important suggestion you will ever see. This copy is not that good, and as you go through it, you can tell that this person is not a copywriter. They're just somebody who created a product and are now trying to sell it. So what I would do is I would knock this letter off, improve upon it totally, like 1,000%, and then show potential clients, hey, this is the letter beforehand, and this is what I did with it afterwards, and to make it better, to show you my techniques as a copywriter and to show you my credibility that I'm a good copywriter. The other method is that you can simply make offers to people. You can go to people with sales letters already and just say, hey, I would love to take a shot at this sales letter to improve on it, or your next one for free. I'm just trying to build up a portfolio. I call that the portfolio offer. So you need to get some samples out there. It'll make the process very much easier. But if you don't have samples, either rewrite one of these really quickly, go to somebody and offer to do a portfolio for them, just portfolio work. I'm doing this for you for free because I want to build up my portfolio. Or you can potentially get clients even without a portfolio, but this just makes it a lot easier. So with that out of the way, let's start with our first technique here would be, let's go to Google. I call this the competition technique. If you go to Google and you search for copywriter, what we're looking for is, I like to look on these ones on the side here. Here's one that somebody's doing here, but wow, John Carlton, that's a pretty good person here. What you're looking for is copywriters and Gary Benzavinga. Wow, this copywriter, she's pretty impressive right away. Bob Ly's up here too. Okay, the point is you want to find really good copywriters, and this is good that we found one right off the bat here, because this is a simple fact. For every one good marketer out there, there's like hardly any copywriters. So if you have 10 good marketers, there's probably only one copywriter that's the equivalent of them, meaning that all these 10 great marketers want the same copywriters because they all know that good copy sells, and they all know that a good copywriter is an invaluable tool, and there's always going to be more demand for copywriting, good copy, than there is copywriters to fill that demand. Always was and always will be. So people that are good at copy tend to get more clients than they can handle, and they tend to work out 6 months in advance, 12 months in advance. So if you're really good and you have a good reputation, then you don't even have to prospect anymore. People just come your way, referrals come your way, you get a reputation. Well, what happens is two things. First of all, you get more work than you can handle, which is good. We'll get to that in a second. The second thing is that you also get work you don't want to do. So if you go to a copywriter like this Tina here and some other people that you'll find on the search engines, you'll notice that you can just come to them with a simple offer. Say, hey, I know you're a very good copywriter, you have a good reputation, and I know from time to time you might get more work than you can handle. I'm just trying to break into the business. I want to get a reputation just like you have, and I'm starting out. I would love it if you could refer clients you either don't want to work with, or if you get booked out, send them my way. I'm not the best. I'm just starting out, but I can give them a really, really reasonable deal so they can try me on a trial run for like a couple $100. And, who knows? Just keep me in mind if that ever happens, and I'd appreciate it very much. Really, that's all you have to do. And then you can if you contact a couple of these and you contact a few of these, and then each week you contact more of them to say, hey, I've been watching your business. How you been doing? I just read a letter that you wrote. I was on your website. I was on your blog. Just wanted to make sure that if you have any more work, here's some of the things I've done so far. Here's some samples of mine. Just each week. And each week try to give them something back. Simple as making a blog comment on their blog post. A lot of marketers just love that because they don't get many blog post comments. But yeah, this first method is simple. Like I said, I call it the competition method, where you just go, you look up copywriters, or you go to the copywriting board, you search over here, you find the really good copywriters. I wouldn't go for the top, the A levels, but I go for the B and the C level copywriters that are pretty good with a reputation, because they get way more work than they can handle, and they get work that they just don't want to do. And if you come to them at the right time or with the right offer, they'll gladly refer work over to you. So that's the competition method. So what I would do, the first thing I would do if I needed to get a client right away, is I would spend one whole day just contacting different copywriters. Maybe not the whole day, but a couple hours. And then each week I'd keep a spreadsheet. So I'd say, okay, I contacted him. This is what they said. This is what I'm going to follow up. This is when I'm going to follow up, and this is what I'm going to say. So that's the competition method.